What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So let me holler at you and tell you guys that you guys have to be careful about who you listen to on the internet. One of my students put me on this guy, Clay Andrews, and I'm not going to take a gigantic dump on this guy. I don't know what his other videos are like. I don't know if he gives really good information. I don't know him, but I did see one video, and there's some stuff in there that made me go, what? Right? Okay. So I want to help you guys with this because this is an emotional time for you. This is a really dark time, right? And then there's two things that you guys have to understand. There are people that are going to tell you what you need to hear, and then there's people that are going to tell you what you want to hear. Now, I find that there's two types of coaches. Coaches that give a shit about you, tell you what you need to hear, me, okay? AMS, Coach Corey Wayne, Coach Lee, right? Coach Craig Kenneth, I think too, right? I don't watch too many of his videos either. But there's coaches out there that tell you what you want to hear. And some of these coaches that tell you what you guys want to hear are more popular because they are doing exactly that. They're telling you exactly what you want to hear, and they hide it behind a paywall so you pay your money, right? This is not my only source of income, guys. This is just one. And obviously the money's good, but I only offer coaching because I want people to come to me if they're having a really, really hard time. Even if you're not having a hard time, you want someone just to bounce ideas off of, and we can form a plan for you. Absolutely, I'm down for that. But I have this, that the people who really, really need it have someone there on a consistent. My coaching's permanent. See, that's the thing. That's how you know I don't give a shit about the money. The coaching's permanent, right? They're like, I tell them, look, join it. And when you're in there, you can message me as much as you. I respond back to you when I have time. But normally it's every day. And some of these people are hiding their coaching and they're really good stuff behind paywalls. And I want you guys to be very careful of that, okay? I'm going to watch some of this video and respond. So I've already watched a little bit of it. And the very first thing that he sort of goes into real quick is he says that there's some people out there that have a really transactional view of the world. And that is sort of true. But however, what I want to say is when you're listening to people like this, you have to be very careful because sometimes they have the Disney glasses on. Okay. They want to see the world for how they think it should be versus how it actually is. So I want to talk to you guys about attraction real quick, because attraction is one of the things that really needs to be there in a relationship. It's not just physical attraction. No, that person is attracted to you, your personality, your spirit, your character, you. Okay. Once they pass the physical check, like once they look at you, they're like, yeah, I'd sleep with that guy. I could see myself waking up next to that. It's all subconscious, baby. You can't get around it, right? Now, you as a man, you can work out, you can, slim up, you can look better, you can groom, you can get a haircut, you can do all that stuff. You can't change the shape of your face, you know what I mean? But you can do things to increase the probability of somebody seeing you as attractive. You can dress better and all that shit. Attraction needs to be a continuous thing, meaning that person has to keep seeing you and your progress and seeing and continuously choosing you. And they will do that. That's what women do. That's why they test you. Because when women test you, they're saying to you and themselves, and they're making sure that they think that the man that they're with is the best option and the best chance they can get. Because why are we all here? Well, a part of why we're here is to procreate. And women want the strongest mate. You can't get around that. That's biology. So like I said, there are people that have these Disney glasses on and they want the world to be a specific way. I'm not really saying that he's exactly like that, but a lot of coaches are. And that's why some of them will tell you to write letters, right? So when I went through, again, and when I went through my breakups and I wrote letters to my ex-girlfriends, you know what they did? Absolutely nothing. It did not work. It doesn't do a damn thing. Actually, it pushes them further away from you because when they lose attraction for you, like I just said, that whole spiel about attraction, well, guess what? It creates more emotional distance because you're not respecting their space. Now, if we think about what a relationship foundation is respect, attraction, boundaries, right? Communication, being able to listen. These are the things that a relationship is based off of. So if you're sending letters when that person wants space, which almost every single girl wants after a relationship ends, space. Do you want to know why? Because when a relationship ends, there's a lot of built up energy. Like there's a lot of built up emotion, like energy, like negativity, right? So usually when a relationship ends, it's because of complacency, insecurity, timing. There's lots of things that can end a relationship, but they are looking at you through sort of a negative lens, and that continuous negativity that they associate with you is going to cause emotional distance. Think about it. When a woman's really, really into you guys, really into you, look at her body language, look at her behavior. She's all over you. She wants to be close to you. When I go home and my girl misses me, she can't get off of me. That's the truth. And all the guys that have been in this, and all the women that watch this too, when you guys were super in love with your men, and you revered them, when you were in love and everything was happy, you couldn't keep your hands off of him. So think about the exact opposite. Think in opposites for things. So when a woman does not want to be with you, she creates emotional distance. What the fuck do you think writing a letter is going to do? It's going to make her go, you're not respecting my space, dude. I already know how you feel. She knows how you feel. She ain't stupid. Women are not dumb creatures. Okay? They're incredibly intuitive. They're incredibly in touch with that emotional shit. And they're better at a lot of things when it comes to that shit than us. Men have to sort of learn. It's a radar. They develop it as they grow up. Men have to develop this and learn. That's why women will start losing attraction for you, right? They'll start losing attraction for you, and men don't pick up on it until like weeks later. And they're like, "Hey, babe, like, what's going on? What?" And she's like, right, and she gives you that fateful conversation that you've been dreading this entire time. Okay, so he goes into how basically our society is in a way where we don't really deal with our emotions maybe in a healthy way, and he's really right about how people are today, right? People are jumping into rebound relationships. People are jumping into going out and doing a lot of experimenting nowadays. They jump on Tinder and they go, they can go hook up within that night, especially women, right? He's absolutely right about that, right? And people are not dealing with what their so what here's what can happen to you, okay? So if you guys go through a breakup, what can happen is your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend might go into a rebound relationship, might go date somebody else before they come back to you. That is absolutely true. But he right now, and I'm sure he's going to go into this a little bit more. I can see it. I can see it, right? He's going to go in. He said something about having an active role into building that connection with your ex. That is something I completely disagree with, and he's going to go into it. I know he is. So I want you guys to be very careful when you do this kind of stuff, okay? Now, here's what no contact does. Let me tell you this now. No contact is going to create that distance that they need in order to miss you. And he's talking about how the good old times have to overpower the reason for them breaking up with you. It's called fading effect bias. As time goes by, they don't think about all the bad stuff about you, right, as much. It's not like they forget about it completely. No. The emotional intensity about whatever they have a problem with you tends to dissipate. Here's the thing. This is the reason why self-work needs to happen, fellas. Because when self-work, sometimes people get back together, right? And they have the same fucking problems. They break up within a couple of weeks because the real core issue is not dealt with. And he does talk about that, and he's absolutely right about that. See, I ain't shitting on everything that he says, because there's things that people need to do. There are certain things that people need to focus on for a relationship to work. There are people that get back together that just shouldn't get back together because the core issue is not dealt with yet. Sometimes it's neediness. Sometimes it's just they don't have a good outlook on life. Whatever the real issue is, it needs to be dealt with. But what he is saying is you need to overcome this issue with building an emotional connection. Well, here's the thing. When I was going through my breakups, and when many of my students are going through their breakups, their exes are like, yo, I don't want to hear from you right now. I need space. I need time. So if he's talking about building an emotional connection, I'm very confused in how you're going to be doing that actively when somebody does not want to hear from you and they want some time from you, because every single time your name pops up on their phone, they get that feeling of, oh, I've been there. I've dumped a girl before too. I haven't just been the dumpee. I have dumped a girl before. And guess what? When she would message me, I was like, ugh, that's the truth. That's the truth about this. When somebody does not want to hear from you, it's almost like it's almost like they completely don't give a fuck about you. But really what they're doing is they're putting up walls, they're putting up barriers and boundaries to keep their emotions away from you, really. So they will treat you in a negative way, and they'll have this negative lens about you, and that needs to go away. And the only way to make that go away is time and space and self-work. A lot of people want the guarantee that they're going to hear from their ex. You know how often I hear, what are my chances, Kyle? What are my chances that I'm going to hear from my ex? I know you're not a god. I know you can't read the future, but what are the chances I'm going to hear from my ex? You know what I always say? I can't answer that question. Every single time somebody's asking me that question, they're looking outside of themselves to soothe their pain. Your pain can be soothed by you inside and internally. That's what the self-work is for. You need to look at why the relationship happened and why it happened, and understand that your ex will most likely reach out to you at some point, usually in an indirect, direct fashion. So that way you can build your emotional connection, like he says. But at the same time, you have to have a backbone. You have to have a spine. And if someone leaves you and breaks up with you, you can't just sit there and be like, yeah, okay, I'm just going to chill here, because she's going to try to friend zone you. She's going to try to put you in a place where you're now an orbiter and she gets to go date other people. This is where you need to take your power back and say, I'm not waiting for you. I'm not sitting here waiting for you just to come back to me when you feel like it. That's not how this works. Okay, that's you standing up for yourself. That's not transactional. So another thing too, I'm really confused because he's like, don't take a passive role. And he's like, it was really great seeing you today. That coming from like the dumpee saying to the dumper, it was really great seeing you today. What? Like, what are you saying? Are you telling like exes, like dumpies, like ex-boyfriends and girlfriends don't just see each other, okay? Unless they're in the workforce, in a place where they constantly, are in contact, they don't just see each other. So I don't understand where you're going to get the term, it was great seeing you today. Then he goes on to say, oh, if that person doesn't want to hear from you, give them space. Like, bro, are you, okay, I get what he's trying to say. He's trying to say, try to get your ex to see you in a positive way. First of all, taking an active role. And when he says, like, it was great seeing you today, that doesn't make any fucking sense to me. And maybe he can clear that up himself. But your ex does need to see you in a positive manner. They do need to see you in a positive light. They really do need to forget the negativity, so to speak, which is difficult. But time will also help with that. It's better to err on giving them space, giving them their time, giving them the freedom that they want because they broke up with you. I still don't understand like how you take an active role. I don't get that. So guys, understand the foundations to relationships: attraction, communication, respect, boundaries, all that shit. Okay. These are all foundations. And when someone does not feel attracted to you anymore, they don't have respect for you anymore, all that stuff needs to be built up again. And to build up attraction again, they need to see a difference in you, right? If you're posting on social media, post your workouts or whatever. But if you don't do that, it's better to not. They'll think that you're doing it for them. Dumpers confidence, man. They think the whole fucking world revolves around them when it comes to you and blah, blah, blah. Take an active role in improving yourself. And if your ex does call, you're actually different. You're actually better. You're stronger. You look better. You think better. You're more emotionally grounded. Every single student I get of mine, I get them to read David Hawkins material. I get them to really understand their emotions and themselves and go deep and say, okay, as a human, how do I act emotionally? What am I like? Am I strong? Am I weak? Am I reactive? These are the things that we really have to dive into. It's not sexy material. It's really not. It's a lot sexier to say, I have this step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 solution to getting your ex back. But that's not how it works. It isn't. And this video might not even be liked. I don't know. But this guy is trying to say, I feel like he's trying to say to you, focus on being positive with your ex. Yes, you should. Focus on being positive with them. But he needs to really clarify about how you take an active role, because I don't fucking understand that. That person's going to reach out to you. If they miss you enough, they will reach out to you. And what I know all of you guys are looking for is what guarantees that you can get that that person is going to reach out to you. That's what you guys are looking for. No coach can tell you when your ex is going to reach out to you or if they even will. Here's the cool thing though. When you work on yourself, when you work on all these problems that you had in the relationship and with you, your ex does come back, let's say. You'll be better. You'll be better equipped to handle it. If they don't come back, you're going to be better for whatever new option comes into your life. Now, I know how attached you guys are, right? I know that you guys want to make things work with your ex-girlfriends and ex-boyfriends, but you have to be careful who the fuck you listen to and how they're saying it to you, because this is confusing as fuck. He's telling you to create an emotional, generate emotional attachment or generate emotional, build up the emotions again, right? That's what he's saying. But that can confuse a lot of students because they might just reach out to their exes anyways, and they don't want to hear from them. And that can cause, like, worst case scenario, that can cause like fucking restraining orders, dude. You got to be careful, man. I don't know. Maybe he'll want to talk to me. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Be careful. Be very careful. There are foundations to relationships, and when something goes wrong, it has to be fixed. That's true. Focus on you. Focus on positivity. Walk away. Don't look back. If that person contacts you, then you can move forward from there. But it's got to be up to you. Done.